Alright guys, so today we're going to be installing our hard drive, and we're going to be installing our optical drive. What do we know about the hard drive so far?
It's off the motherboard, so it's slower on receiving data and putting data on the screen.
Okay, in and out with data, alright. And what are some benefits of the hard drive, Damien?
It stores more memory.
Okay, it has a larger memory, that's right, it has a larger storage set. Does the hard drive hold information longer than like a RAM? Okay, that's right, it does. It is more safe and secure. Okay, so when I first heard about IT Kid Academy and the chance for students to build computers, I knew I had to be a part of it.
I heard that my school was going to do IT Kid Academy. I felt very surprised and happy at the same time.
I just always wanted to build a computer all my life, and that's why I wanted to be a regular.
I wanted to get in that field of education, so I was the first one to put in my application for it.
I was a little nervous. I wasn't very familiar with PCs in general, let alone opening one up and seeing everything that goes inside of it.
I've never been inside of computers before, working with the hardware, so I was a little apprehensive.
I didn't want to touch anything, I didn't want to mess it up, I didn't want to break it. But as we were able to go through this intensive training and really learn the in-depth workings of these computers in a rapid environment, by the second and third day, my confidence level had increased a great deal, and I was ready to grab pieces and just put things together and give it a shot. It wasn't just a matter of being able to turn on and operate a PC, it was understanding all the intricacies that go with a computer.
With our fellow instructors, we were able to actually touch motherboards, install RAM, install processors, and then we went live. We went live to computers that we would be using here at Bok It Academy. So by day 4, we finished the build. Day 5, booted it up on the BIOS and then installed our Windows operating system. And we currently use those computers in our flight simulator class.
This year, for the first time, for the state standardized testing, we had to test over 400 students over a 2-week period. We had an 8-hour window in which to hardwire all 10 of these labs. So I went to my IT Kid Academy class, and after a very brief training in the morning, the students went out to the classrooms and began to assemble these labs. By the end of the day, they were a well-oiled machine, and I didn't even need to be there. And so it was a great opportunity for them to put some of the things that they've been learning in class to practice. And even though they weren't going to every computer lab and building computers from scratch, they had experienced this comfort level through IT Kid Academy that had built their confidence so that they could walk into a classroom and say, I know what I'm doing, I can do this, and just go for it. And it was really awesome to watch.
Or for any child or any student or any parent to actually enhance the life of your child and open up their mind to different dreams and seeing them being individuals, programmers, individuals that work in the area of coding and in the area of aerospace sciences. It's all intertwined, and I think this is just one of those pieces to that puzzle to enhance a wonderful young mind to go on and do great things.
There's some parts that I can name which are the motherboard, which is pretty much the main part of the computer, which transports every single bit of data throughout the computer.
Capacitors and chokes.
And then there's the RAM, which is for fast memory, which
The CPU, Central Processing Unit, is basically the brain of your motherboard. Without it, it's just a piece of wafer in a big computer filled with a bunch of components that's going to do absolutely nothing.
And then there's the wall fan, which sucks the hot air that came off of the heat sink on the CPU, and that sucks it out of the computer, so it doesn't get too hot inside the computer.
What it does is it takes the heat from the CPU, and it's got a fan on top, and that will distribute it so that it cools off.
The PSU, the power supply unit, it takes the power from the wall socket and it converts it so that it's safe for the motherboard to use.